call ourselves Ventura Hot Glass, but we moved here from LA and just sort of kept that website name as well, so we're both. But since we're in Ventura, we're Ventura Hot Glass. So we're going for art, we're going for the human touch, and we could make our vessels into maybe something unrecognizable, hence Dale Chihuly. You know, he does some beautiful sculptures. Love him, love him. And he brought the whole glass blowing field to a new level of consciousness, of people realizing, wow, what is it, you know? Well, you know, a lot of people will look at our glass and they'll go, it reminds me of a painter, and they can't think of his name. It's Gustav Klimt. And they'll finally come up with that. Gustav Klimt, he's an Austrian, but dead. And our work kind of has the flavor of that because we're giving a romantic story on our pieces. I call it romantic because I think it's almost a poetic expression in our glass. Instead of words, it's a feeling, but we're telling the story around the piece with our design. And a lot of it has the metallics, and the colors tend to line up and have a feeling of Gustav Klimt. And so it's that flavor, it's that poetic story. I say all of Midsummer Night's Dream is in our work because we do work abstract, then the viewer is allowed to participate in the imagery as well, trying to discover what he or she thinks of it too, and allows that story to continue around the piece, but also it's unique. It's unique. Talk about made in America. Yeah, we should be proud of Made in America because what we contributed to Made in America with glass was we took that furnace out of the factory setting and we're able to put it in the glass studio of artists who were trained at a university level. And they began to handle that glass with newspaper, the LA Times in our case. We fold it up in a certain way and we're able to actually manipulate the surface.
What's your favorite part of that whole process? What do you enjoy the most?
Well, the favorite part of the process is actually, my favorite thing in the world is actually being a participant in this incredibly rare medium. Just being able to do it, and as a woman, you look through the history of glass, we're not there. Women aren't in that process. There was a couple of women early on, 60s, 50s, that did glass, but and hopefully a whole lot more by now. But it's still a very limited field, so I love the privilege of actually having the opportunity to dip my blowpipe into incredibly hot glass and to make the magic happen. And you know, it would have been maybe different if I had decided, oh, I'll be a woodworker, and then I could see the magic happen there. But the hot glass is so exhilarating, and also a rare art form. Yes, we do think our piece through. For one, we have to create our palette, and we want to make it into a successful piece. So we're going to give it a lot of thought to begin with. What shape it's actually going to be depends on if somebody's ordered a piece, and we have to replicate that shape. Every time the artwork is going to be original. But we start early in the morning choosing our colors, choosing the color of the vessel. We want the palette to absolutely go with that one specific piece. And so we're going to start by contemplating what it is we're making, our colors we're going to use, and then we're going to set out our design, a design that we use a lot. And we can change it up. We can change it up with other designs. But we're sure of ourselves. We're sure basically of what we're going to get because we make so many pieces. A lot of times, too, we'll want to explore with something entirely different. But it allows us to get out of our own way and to make our art without having to reinvent the wheel every single day. And so we do know what we're going to get basically, but what we're doing, which is a little different than, say, creating a painting or a clay pot, is we're a wielding glass that's 2,000 degrees, and it's very heavy on the end of a 5-foot pipe. And we're harnessing that energy and that hot molten medium and making it respond to our will with our bare hands, wet newspaper, on the 2,000-degree surface. So more or less, we have to have our design ready to go. We have to have things planned out. We know seconds make a difference. And we're not only making the piece, we're counting, we're timing, we're listening for the pitch of the glass when we ding it on the metal table that we have our design on. We've just been waiting for that piece in the middle of the process, that design, waiting, because no time to design at that point. It's got to be ready to go. So once we take our last gather of crystal over our bubble, we're going to roll it into that design and let that spontaneity occur within boundaries of our design. So we're making choices at that moment, but we're also planning it out well before we begin. And that's halfway through. So we've got to that point, then we're doing good, we got the design on, but we're still having to manipulate the glass, we're still having to stretch it. Gravity's everything. Fine little things that you do to the glass make a huge difference, and if you do make a mistake, then you spend a lot of time correcting, and hopefully the piece will come out. But mainly it's a lot of careful action as well as spontaneous choices within a set boundary. And because we sell our work, we know what's successful in our own work, so we want to be able to repeat that at least.